Applications of modern genetics. This is one of the most broad kind of subject matters in the BC Science 10 curriculum, in terms of just the many directions that you could take this. How do we use genetics in the modern world today? So with this experience, it's another break apart the class into multiple groups type of assignment. For this one, I have 6 different subject matters or areas that the students can dive into. I've whittled down a little bit the options or the suggestions from the ministry. So what we have here is GMOs and genetic engineering. I combine those two because the definitions of them are so overlapped that it made the students quite confused as the years have gone on. Species modification, so similar. Gene therapy, cloning. And cloning, you have to have the students make sure that they don't get stuck on human cloning and animal cloning, as there's a lot of fear around human cloning, but animal cloning does happen, whereas human cloning does not. And then the last 2 are stem cells and reproductive technology. So this is where we are now with our use of modern genetics. And from that, the students are given one of those subject matters as a thing to research. So we go through the class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The students are given their subject matter, and then from there, I say, as if you were preparing for a debate, you need to look at and having a complete description, not just like a Google description of what that is. So what's a GMO, or what is assisted reproductive technology? But they have to have their own definition that they can share in an eloquent, to their level manner. And then I have a list of different subject matters that they have to actually know about themselves for their subjects. So basically their Google searches will become something like GMOs and global health, GMOs and the environment, GMOs in our society. So there's different areas there that they have to research, and this one does take some time. I would give them more time than less time so that you get a good job with it. This is one of the last assignments that I give my students. So I actually make sure that they are taking the most time to really show me how they've developed their skills at research, how they develop their skills at piecing information together, summarizing information, and communicating that information. So that is a big part of it. And obviously they want to have a bibliography to show that they've done research. And then we have everything written into a actual document. So not a PowerPoint, but some kind of typed document. Again, not an essay necessarily, but just in preparing, so they have both sides of the coin for information, whether it's pro or con, like they're getting ready to defend their opinion in a subject matter. And then once we've got this information, we'll shift to part 2, which is where we use the decision maker pathway. And I'll have another video that explains the decision maker pathway along with this, because we used it a couple times this year. But we use the decision maker pathway to walk through the different options. Why does it matter? And all of that. So we'll get to that in 1 minute, but this is the setup for that. The students do not know that it's coming. So we're scaffolding the experience a little bit more for them. This is now their chance to choose what it is. And what we do, once we have all the information, they've done their research, they have it. This is probably 2 days of research. Again, we're going to come together and we're going to share the information. So we'll get into small groups, with 1 member from each, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then those people will go and share what they have learned with the people around them. So I have the students, all the GMO people talk all at once. All of the species modification people talk at once. And so there's usually only 3 people talking in the room at a time. And from those 3 people, I time them so they each have only a set amount of time to share their information. Nobody gets to go ahead. That way we all stay together as a group. And with 6 different groups speaking, if it's 5 minutes, you've got 30 minutes of group discussion happening there. And that's as the information gets shared back to the group, and the students start to come up with their ideas around, like, okay, well, this is how we use modern technologies with genetic engineering. And then we finish the class with a, like, what surprised you conversation. What did you learn? Was there anything that needed to be explained more or better understood? And then after that's done, then I actually just do a vote on the board. So just, do you think we should keep doing this? Yes or no? Are you pro or are you con this modern use of genetic engineering? And then we take it one step further with the decision maker pathway following it up. So I like this one. It's a good startup, and we will go from there. Talk soon.